So, as an osteopath and a pain management specialist, I get asked all the time, what is the best seated posture? So I'm going to show you today why there is no perfect seated posture and what you can do to help you to remain healthy and pain-free and in the best position for your body while you're sitting doing work, whether that's at home or in your office environment. Now let's start with some beginning assumptions. There are so many videos on YouTube about how to correct your posture. There are even devices that you can buy to strap your shoulders back and keep your back upright. I've seen videos of children being placed with a stick on their back just to make sure that they're upright and straight. And this assumption that we need to have a straight spine is founded on relatively good principles. If your spine is straight, then you're able to breathe deeply, you're able to open your ribs at the front to get a full breath in and out, to oxygenate your blood, to better feed your muscles and your brain and all the other tissues and organs in your body. You're also, in this position, able to relax the shoulders, they don't have to hunch, and in theory, you're able to also relax your spine. Now, what I see most of the time in reality is that people are at their desks and they start to concentrate on what they're doing. And when they concentrate on what they're doing, what they tend to do is to round and arch their backs. And they assume that this is a bad position. This is bad for your back, this is bad for your shoulders, this isn't a good position to be in. And it is true that your ribs are compressed in this position and you're not able to take a deeper breath and your shoulders have to work a little harder. But this position is usually the result of people not being able to hold themselves upright anymore. They relax after going, okay, I'm going to start with good posture, and then you relax and gradually you relax into this position and you find yourself in this position for most of the day until you recognize you're here, then you pull yourself back up again and the cycle continues. So the first thing we're going to go through today is the best way to maintain an upright position while you're seated without any effort whatsoever. And it's all about positioning your spine. So the first thing you need to do is to sit down differently. Now the idea here is that you're sitting down with the arch in your lower back maintained and an upright chest. So it's almost like sitting down as if you were a Victorian lady. So you kind of stick your pelvis backwards, keeping your spine at the back, arched all the time. And when you're in this position, you have positioned your spine to be straight. Your bones are stacked from the pelvis all the way up to the neck, as if you're in a standing position. Now, when you're sitting at your desk, if you try to take a deep breath in, and relax all the muscles in your body, if you've positioned your spine right, you'll find that you can completely relax and maintain this same position without any effort whatsoever. Now this is a sustainable position because you're not spending energy to hold yourself there. You're not pulling back your shoulders, you're not straightening your spine. You've positioned your bones to take all the load away from your muscles, and you can sit here happily without using any effort all day. Now, the second thing is you need to make sure that if you're going to maintain this, your desk is set up right. You need to make sure that especially your monitor is in line with your eyes to avoid you looking down and dropping your head. And this will be able to maintain this relaxed position for a longer period of time because you won't need to be looking down and taking yourself out of this position in order to see the work that you obviously need to carry on doing. So that's tip number one, position your spine. Tip number two, if you need to adjust your spine while you're sitting already, the thing is to maintain this arch in your lower back again. So all you need to do is push your pelvis back on the seat as if you're sliding your hips back, and then reposition your spine on top of your hips to maintain that inner arch here. Deep breath, relax again, and you should be able to find that nice upright position without effort whatsoever. But this is not the best way to maintain health in your spine. The best way to maintain health in your spine is to continually adjust your position. We have not evolved these bodies to sit down for any long period of time. We did not evolve with chairs and desks and these kind of setups that we're forced to work in for most of our days. And we are just not adapted to it. The reason we have pain and stiffness while we're sitting down is our body's screaming at us, hey, can you please do something about this? You've been sitting down too long, can you move? And we need to start appreciating that the pain we experience when sitting is a message to try and motivate us to do something differently, to try and move. And if we are doing it right, the movement will be pleasurable. So we have this inbuilt compass from pain to pleasure that we forget that we can use to orientate ourselves to do movements that are safe and beneficial for our bodies. So I'm going to show you about 3 or 4 simple movements that you can do if you're feeling stiff in the shoulders and in the back while you're sitting for a long period of time. And doing these in response to pain or stiffness is going to drastically improve your health, the circulation of your blood, the ability for you to think and to concentrate at work, just in a short few minutes. So the first movement that's really, really beneficial for your spine is to fully slump, to fully go into this position that we often say is a bad position. This is a great position for opening your joints and stretching your muscles. And when you're here, take a few deep breaths. Relaxing your body, letting go of the tension you would have been building when you're concentrating hard or if you're stressed at work. You can even reach towards the floor. Push yourself away from your desk so you don't headbutt it as you go down. This is another extension to the opening of your spine. Feels really nice. Then coming up and doing exactly the opposite. Bringing your spine into a full extension. Arching your back, not to the point where you feel pressure or pain, just to the point where you feel the contraction of the muscles and the opening of the chest. Breathing in here. And then we can start to alternate those two. Flexion and extension. Breathing in as you extend. Breathing out as you flex. Oh, lovely. This transitions really nicely into rolling the shoulders. Now, rolling the shoulders, it's really good to play with the amount you roll. So going to maximum roll of the shoulders. And you can even add the elbows to it as well to get the arms involved a little bit more. The more movement, the better through the shoulders because they get really stiff during the day. And you can also play with the speed. Slowing it down is much more difficult for your nervous system to control than speeding it up. And if you concentrate on slow, smooth movement, often this is the most effective at getting rid of those knots that you would have been building in the shoulders all day. Taking a deep breath. Relaxing the shoulders. And finally, rotation. Positioning your spine in that nice upright position that we started with today. Looking over one of your shoulders and following the movement round with your arms. Now, if you've got a chair with arms or a high back, move yourself forwards in the chair and get some space so you can bring your arm in between the space between the back of the chair and the front. Once you're at your end of rotation, take a deep breath and breathe out, relaxing. Now, if you're finding you're pushing all of these movements to try and find that stretch, try and find that, oh yeah, it feels like really intense and good for me, but I can't breathe properly, calm down. Come back to the point where you can breathe easily and that the stretch is like a maximum 4 out of 10. This will ensure that your brain doesn't perceive the movement as threatening and try and tense up more to protect your joints as they reach their end range. Bringing the stretch into a mild but comfortable stretch where you can breathe and relaxing your body into this stretch will get you much more flexibility, much more quickly and with much less pain than if you were just to hammer at the end range of your joints. Same thing the other way. And finally, walking on your sit bones. Imagining your sit bones are like your feet and you're walking forwards and backwards on your chair. This is a really good exercise for your lower back and one you can do just briefly throughout the day when you're feeling a little bit of stiffness in the lower back region. And after you've finished those exercises in response to your discomfort, carry on with your day. Wait till that discomfort builds, and I guarantee you that it will. Respond to it with movement. Give your body what it's asking for. Your body will thank you, giving you pleasurable sensations, and then you can get back to your work. Good posture is a process. It is not a fixed destination. It requires continual adjustment, and make sure that if you're going to engage with that process, the adjustments you make feel really good, because it will become a reward in itself. Those are my top tips for maintaining posture at your desk, wherever you are at work.